Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, sit tight because what I'm about to share could shake up the entire NFC East and send shockwaves through the NFL. Rumors are swirling, and some credible insiders are starting to hint at a blockbuster move that could redefine the Giants' future and their quest for another Super Bowl. And trust me, it's one of those stories that you're going to want to follow closely because it involves a potential trade that would send shockwaves across the league. Justin Jefferson, the Minnesota Vikings, star wide receiver, possibly heading to the Big Apple. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Hold up, is this really happening? Jefferson to the Giants. Well, let's break down what's going on behind the scenes and why this might actually be more than just a rumor. According to some reports from Adam Schefter and other NFL insiders, the Vikings are accelerating their rebuild efforts, and the word is that they're now more open to trading Jefferson, especially after recent injuries and the team's current position in the standings. Minnesota is sitting with a 5-7 record, and their cap space is around $22 million. The Vikings seem to be shifting gears, focusing on developing their defensive line after a series of injuries, including Jefferson's own injury, a hip issue that kept him out for a game. But even with that, Jefferson has been outstanding when healthy, averaging about 215 receiving yards per game, and showing why he's one of the most explosive deep threats in the league. Now, imagine for a second what Jefferson would bring to the Giants. We're talking about a player with a track record that's nothing short of elite. At just 26 years old, Jefferson has already amassed over 500 receiving yards and 35 touchdowns in his career, with a 92 yards per game average in 2025. His yards after catch, YAC, per game sits at 5.4, and he's consistently creating separation with a 78% route win rate versus man coverage, a true nightmare for defenses. His speed is off the charts, clocking a 4.40-yard dash, and his ability to stretch the field is exactly what the Giants' offense needs to take the next step. What makes this potential move even more enticing is the impact Jefferson could have on the Giants' offense, especially in the red zone. With Daniel Jones under center and a young, talented group of receivers like Neighbors, adding a player of Jefferson's caliber could boost their red zone efficiency to around 68%. That's a game changer. His route running, with an 85% success rate against zone coverage, would elevate the EPA, expected points added, per pass, making life easier for Jones and opening up opportunities for the entire offense. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Vikings are negotiating to extend McCarthy, their offensive coordinator, but some reports suggest they're also exploring the idea of trading Jefferson in a rebuild scenario. This move could be motivated by a desire to gather draft capital and build a more balanced roster for the future. For the Giants, acquiring Jefferson would be a massive upgrade, especially considering their current receiving core, which averages about 180 yards per game, not bad, but nowhere near what they could be with someone like Jefferson stretching the field. From an odds perspective, the betting markets are already reacting. The chances of Jefferson joining the Giants have jumped from plus 50-0 to plus 18-0, indicating that the betting public is starting to believe that a deal could happen. If this trade goes through, it would be a statement move by the Giants, signaling their intention to contend now and in the future. Jefferson's presence would send a clear message to the NFC East and the rest of the league. The Giants are serious about winning and aren't afraid to pull off big moves to get there. But of course, this isn't just about adding another star. It's about transforming the entire offense and giving Daniel Jones a true number one target who can take over games. With Jefferson on the field, defenses would have to dedicate extra attention, freeing up other receivers and tight ends. It could also open running lanes for Saquon Barkley, making the Giants more unpredictable and dangerous. This kind of move is reminiscent of the Giants' boldest days, big game-changing trades that turned seasons around. And let's not forget the impact on the division. If the Giants pull this off, it could shake up the power hierarchy in the NFC East. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders will all be watching closely, knowing that a player of Jefferson's caliber could give the Giants a significant advantage. It's not just about adding yards or touchdowns, It's about elevating the entire team's confidence and playoff potential. Imagine the Giants with a deep threat that opponents have to game plan around. It's a recipe for success. Of course, there are questions and risks. The Vikings might ask for a hefty price, perhaps multiple first-round picks or a combination of picks and players. The Giants would have to weigh whether giving up draft capital now makes sense for a player who might be with the team for just a few seasons. But if history has shown us anything, it's that sometimes you have to make bold moves to truly contend. Giants fans know all about that, the iconic trades and signings that helped build Super Bowl-winning teams in the past. What's fascinating is that, despite all the talk about rebuilds and future drafts, the Giants are positioning themselves as serious contenders right now. With a resilient defense, a solid offensive line, and now the potential addition of Jefferson, the picture looks even brighter. Their current offensive output has been decent, but improving their passing game with a deep threat like Jefferson could elevate them to a whole new level. Especially considering how well Jones has been playing, this could be the piece that turns the offense into a juggernaut. Now, I want to highlight the potential impact of Jefferson's arrival. He's not just a receiver who gets yards, he's a game changer who can score from anywhere on the field. His ability to make contested catches and stretch defenses vertically makes him a nightmare for safeties and cornerbacks alike. The Giants could finally have that weapon that defenses game plan around, opening up opportunities for everyone else. And with his proven track record of making big plays in clutch moments, Jefferson could be the spark that ignites the Giants' offense for the rest of the season and beyond. As we look ahead, the NFL rumor mill is buzzing, and the Giants' front office is likely exploring every angle. If this trade materializes, it will be one of the biggest moves in recent Giants history, a bold statement that they are all in on contending now. The NFC East is always competitive, but with Jefferson on board, the Giants could turn the tide in their favor and establish themselves as serious Super Bowl contenders once again. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the New York Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news. Now just imagine it, Jefferson, the blue comet streaking across the New York sky, illuminating the dark nights of the city with his speed and skill. He's a player who can turn a game in a flash, a true superstar who would wear the Giants blue with pride and help lead them back to the postseason. The potential is enormous, and if this move happens, it could be the start of a new chapter for the Giants, one filled with hope, excitement, and a renewed belief that the team is building something special for the future. So stay tuned, Giants fans. This story isn't over yet, and the NFL is full of surprises. But one thing is for sure, if the Giants land Justin Jefferson, we're all in for a wild ride. Let's keep our fingers crossed and our eyes on the prize. Because the Giants, with a little help from the stars, might just be on their way to another Super Bowl run.